What's going on, guys? J.Yumeko, and today we're back with some more Doki Doki Literature Club. Now, last time we left off, we had Natsuki over at our house, and Sayori kind of fucking killed herself. So that's where we're left off at, and now we are, well, you'll see in just a second here. This game is not suitable for children or those who are easily disturbed. Hey, hey, hey. Dude, this fucking... Alright. So, I kind of fucking forget where we left off, to be completely honest with you. Alright, well, I guess we're here. So, I think we already did a poem, and we already got introduced to all the girls and went through that whole intro bit, so... Here we go. Hi, J.Yumeko. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little bit strange for me, but I at least keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Whoa, okay. Oh, and we also noticed that the music got a little bit high-pitched. Thanks for keeping your promise, Yumeko. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making a dive head first into literature when you're not accustomed to it.
Oh, come on! Like he deserves any slack. You already had to be dragged here by Monica. I don't know if you just plan to hang out here or what. But if you don't take it seriously, then you won't see the end of it.
Oh. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga.
Manga is literature!
Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back down and, oh, big tone change, or pitch change, I guess, back into her seat. I'm sorry, Yumeko. We'll make sure to put your comfort first, okay? Yuri shoots Natsuki with a disappointed glance. Anyway, now that you're in the club and all, perhaps you might have been interested in picking up a book to read? Well, I can't really say no either way. Like you said, I'm in this club now, so it only feels right for me to do something like that if you ask. Oh, wait, I didn't mean it like that. If you don't really want to, then forget I said anything, I guess. Ah, no, it's not that, Yuri. I want to try to be a part of this club, so even if I don't read often, I'd be happy to pick up a book if you wanted me to. Are you sure? I just felt like, well, as vice president and all, that I should help you get started on something you might like. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. And we could, you know, discuss it if you wanted. This is... How's this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book that she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki's rummaging around in the closet.
Ugh!
I hear Natsuki utter an exasperated sigh from within the closet. She seems to be annoyed by something. I approach her in case she needs a hand. You looking for something in there? Oh. Fucking Monica!
She never puts my stuff back in the right spot! What's the point of keeping your collection organized if someone else is just gonna mess it up?
Natsuki slides a bunch of stacked books and boxes across the shelf. Manga.
You read manga, right?
Sometimes. Manga is one of those things where you can't really admit you're into it until you figure out where the other person stands. How did you know, anyway?
I heard you bring it up at some point. Besides, it's kind of right on your face.
What's that supposed to mean? I see. There's a lone volume of manga amidst a stack of various books on the side of one of the shelves. Curious, I pull it out of the stack.
There it is!
Natsuki snatches it out of my hand. Then she turns to a box of manga and slips the volume right into the middle of the rest.
Ah, much better. Seeing a box with one book missing is probably the most irritating sight in the world.
I know that feel. I get a closer look at the box he's admiring. Parfait Girls? It's a series I've never heard of in my life. That probably means it's way out of my demographic, or it's simply terrible.
If you're gonna judge, can you do it through the glass at the door?
She points to the classroom door. Hey, I wasn't judging anything. I didn't even say anything.
It was a tone of your voice. But I'll tell you one thing, Yumeko. Consider this a lesson straight from the literature club.
Don't judge a book!
In fact,
Natsuki pulls out the first volume of Parfait Girls from the box.
I'm gonna show you exactly why.
She shoves the book into my hands. Ah. I stare at the cover. It features 4 girls in colorful attire striking animated feminine poses. Seem familiar? It's exceedingly moe.
Don't just stand there.
Natsuki grabs my arm and pulls me out of the closet. She then takes a seat against the wall beneath the windowsills. She pats on the ground next to her, signaling me to sit there. Wouldn't chairs be more comfortable? I take my seat.
Chairs wouldn't work. We can't read at the same time like that.
Why is that? I guess it's easier to be close like this.
Don't just say that. You'll make me feel weird about it.
Natsuki crosses her arms and scooches an inch away from me. Sorry. I didn't exactly expect to be sitting this close to her either. Not that I can say it's a particularly bad thing. I open the book. It's only a few seconds before Natsuki once again inches closer, reclaiming the additional space while she hopes I won't notice. I can feel her peering over my shoulder, much more eager to begin reading than I am.
Wow, how long has it been since I read the beginning?
You don't go back and flip through the older volumes every once in a while?
Not really. Maybe sometimes after I finish the series. Hey, are you paying attention?
I am, but nothing's really happened yet, so I can talk at the same time. It looks like it's about a bunch of friends in high school. Typical slice of life affair. I kind of grew out of these since it's rare for the writing to be entertaining enough to make up for the lack of plot. Are you sure this isn't boring for you?
It's not.
Even though you're just watching me read?
Well, I'm fine with that.
If you say so. I guess it's fun sharing something you like with someone else. I always get excited when I convince any of my friends to pick up a series I enjoy. You know what I mean? You don't?
That's not... Well, I wouldn't really know.
What do you mean? Don't you share your manga with your friends?
Could you not rub it in? Jeez.
Sorry.
Like I could ever get any of my friends to read this. They just think manga's for kids. I can never even bring it up without them being all like, you still haven't grown out of that yet? Makes me want to punch them in the face.
Ugh, I know those kind of people. Honestly, it takes a lot of effort to find friends who won't judge, much less friends who are also into it. I'm already kind of a loser, so I guess I gravitated toward the other losers over time. But it's probably harder for someone like you.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Wait, which part?
I mean, I feel like I can't even keep it in my own room.
My dad would beat the shit out of me if he found this.
At least it's safe here in the club room. Except Monika's kind of a jerk about it. Ugh, I just can't win, can I?
Well, it paid off in the end, didn't it? I mean, here I am reading it.
It's not like that solves any of my problems.
Maybe, but at least you're enjoying yourself, right?
So? Jeez, that's enough! Are you gonna keep reading or what?
Yeah. I flipped the page. Oh. Time passes. Natsuki is strangely quiet now. I glance over at her. It looks like she started to fall asleep. Hey, Natsuki.
Yeah?
Suddenly, Natsuki collapses straight into me. Hey! Oh my god. Oh, jeez. Natsuki, are you okay? Here. Monica reaches into her bag and pulls out some kind of protein bar. She throws it in Natsuki's direction. Natsuki's eyes suddenly light up again. She snatches the bar from the floor and immediately tears off the wrapper.
I told you not to give me...
She doesn't even finish her sentence before stuffing it into her mouth.
Don't worry, Yumeko. She's fine. It just happens every now and then. That's why I always keep a snack in my bag for her. Anyway, why don't we all share our poems now?
Who should I show my poem to first? We'll go with Natsuki all the way. I told Natsuki I was interested in her poems yesterday. It's probably only fair that I shared mine with her first.
Okay, well, let's start with the things I don't like. First of all,
Natsuki rereads my poem.
Never mind. I don't feel like giving you my opinion.
Then what's the point of sharing it in the first place? I wrote this when I could have been doing other things. In fact, remember how I said I wanted to read your poems? That's what I had in mind when writing this. I want to help you feel more comfortable enough to share yours. Like Monica said.
Well, I would be more comfortable if sharing my poem if yours was really bad. You were supposed to show me some dumb poem and make me go like, ha! Well, it's not that great, but let me show you what real literature looks like. And you went and ruined it. I hope you're happy.
So, in other words, you're saying you liked it? Natsuki's retort gets caught in her throat.
You don't understand anything, do you? I already told you that. You don't have to go announcing it to the world like you're all self-important.
Pretty sure you never actually said that. I say that mostly to myself. Natsuki must really hate me or something. I can't figure out if it's a win or a loss that she likes my poem. In any case, you still need to show me yours, right?
Fine, I guess. Only because Monica will make me if I don't.
Alright, so we still have that same poem.
Yeah. I told you that you weren't gonna like it.
I like it.
What? Just be honest.
I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it?
Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing is supposed to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't even take my writing seriously.
But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid.
Yes, exactly. I like it when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you doing great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it.
Yeah, I guess I understand.
But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight in the wordplay. Like I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line.
So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized.
That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you?
Yeah, I guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Let's go vis Yuri. Yuri stares at the poem. A minute passes, more than enough time for her to finish reading. Sorry. I forgot to start speaking. It's fine, you don't have to force yourself. I just need to put my thoughts into words. Hold on. Okay. This is your first time writing a poem, right? Yeah. Why do you ask? I'm just making sure. I guess that it might be after reading through it. So it's that bad. No! Did I just raise my voice? I'm so sorry. Yuri buries her face in her hands. I couldn't help but notice that it's been several minutes and we really haven't gotten anywhere. It might take Yuri a while to get used to new people. It's fine, I didn't really notice. What were you saying? Right, it's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers, and having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering's completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There's so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice, and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone in this club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little bit biased, though. Biased? How? Uh, um, well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about other people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri's apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily as if that's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Yeah, we already read that. I'm sorry I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. Ah, well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short? I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest, since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little bit more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghost theory? Actually, the story isn't about ghosts at all, Yumeko. Really? I must have completely missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in a past remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. It's nothing, really. Well, it makes me happy that you think that. Just remember that it won't be long before you can pick up on these things too. Yeah, maybe you're right. I guess I'll have to keep trying. I'm counting on you. And last but not least, Monica. Hi, Yumeko. Having a good time so far? Ah, yeah. Good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, Yumeko. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. I like it, Yumeko. Really? It's a lot cuter than I expected. Oh, jeez. No. It kind of makes me think of something Natsuki would write. And she's a good writer, too. So take that as a compliment. If you say so. Yep. If you're interested in Natsuki, then always keep a snack on you. She'll cling to you like a puppy. Natsuki's dad doesn't give her lunch money or leave her any food in the house, so she's in a fussy mood pretty often. But sometimes she just loses all of her strength and shuts down. Like earlier. This is just a guess, but I think she's so small because her malnutrition is interfering with her adolescent growth. But hey, some guys are into petite girls, you know. Sorry, just trying to look at the bright side. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. That was just... that was a lot of shade thrown at Natsuki, dude. We just completely brushed past that. Okay. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. Haven't I already read this? Hole in the wall, he wasn't looking... Oh, but he wasn't looking at me. Confused, I frantically glanced at my surroundings. No, yeah, so we haven't read this one before. Well, whatever, I'll read it again. Hole in the wall. But he wasn't looking at me. Confused, I frantically glanced at my surroundings, but my burned eyes can no longer see color. Oh, this is a follow-up poem. Are there any others in this room? Are they talking? Or are they simply poems on flat sheets of paper? The sound of frantic scrawling playing tricks on my ears. The room begins to crinkle, closing in on me. The air I breathe dissipates before it reaches my lungs. I panic. There must be a way out. It's right there. He's right there. Swallowing my fears, I brandish my pen. Excuse me. Ugh. So, what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. That's okay. Yeah, that kind of style's gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the time between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a little bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that, because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem, or a story, your brain gets too fixated on one specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Phew, and Sayori's back. I guess that's everyone. I glanced around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities, even if they are just being nice. There's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Monika's writing something in her notebook. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly.
What's with this language?
Did you say something?
Oh, it's nothing.
Natsuki dismissively returns the poem with one hand.
I guess you could say it's fancy.
Thanks. Yours is cute.
Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute?
I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice.
You mean you have to try that hard just to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out that way at all.
Well, I do have a couple of suggestions.
If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked somebody who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Monica liked it, and Yumeko did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all,
excuse me. I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet. And Yumeko liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up.
Oh? I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri.
That's not what you're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Yumeko appreciates my advice more than he appreciates yours.
Huh? And how did you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself?
No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy.
Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Yumeko started showing up.
Natsuki? Natsuki, that's a little...
This doesn't involve you.
Taking out your own insecurities on others like that. You really act as young as you look, Natsuki.
Me? Look who's talking, you wanna be edgy, bitch!
Edgy? Sorry that my lifestyle is too much for someone of your mental age to comprehend.
See? Just saying that proves my point. Most people learn to get over themselves after they graduate middle school, you know.
If you want to prove anything, then stop harassing others with your sickening attitude. You think that you can counterbalance your toxic personality just by dressing and acting cute? The only thing cute about you is how hard you try.
Whoa, be careful there. You might cut yourself on that edge, Yuri. Oh, my bad. You already do, don't you?
Did you just accuse me of cutting myself? What the fuck is wrong with your head?
Yeah, go on. Let Yumeko hear everything you really think. I'm sure he'll fall head over heels for you after this.
Suddenly, Yuri turns towards me as if she just noticed I was standing there. Yumeko! She's just trying to make me look bad.
That's not true. She started it.
Oh my god, holy fuck. Nani? Hey, Yumeko. Why don't we step outside for a bit? Okay? Sorry about that. They really shouldn't have tried to get you involved. It's probably better for us to stay out of this. We'll go back inside once they're done yelling. Some president I am, right? I can't even comfort my own club members properly. I just wish I was able to be a little more assertive sometimes, but I never have it in me to put my foot down against others. You understand, right? Anyway, if this makes you want to spend less time with the others, then that's fine. I'd be happy to spend time with you instead. Suddenly, Natsuki runs out of the classroom. She quickly runs away. Oh dear. Well, it looks like they're done. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. Yuri's rocking back and forth in her desk with her palms on her forehead. Yuri? I didn't mean it! I believe you. I have no idea what Yuri might have said to Natsuki. Or did. Yumeko, please don't hate me. Please! I'm not like this. There's something wrong with me today. It's fine, Yuri. We know you didn't mean it. Besides, I'm sure Natsuki will forget everything. I'm sure Natsuki will forget all about it by tomorrow. Completely. Anyway, the meeting is over, so you can go home now if you want. Yuri looks at me like she wants to say something, but she keeps glancing at Monika. You can go first, Monika. I'd like to stay a little bit longer. I'm the president, so I should be the last one out. I'll wait for you to be done. Well, I'm vice president, so please let me take that responsibility today. It kind of sounds like you don't want me around or something, Yuri. It's not that. It's not that. I didn't get much of a chance to discuss my book with Yumeko. It would be embarrassing with you listening. I guess I don't really have a choice, do I? I'm sorry for causing trouble, but I really... Oh. Okay, well... Monika got fucking mad, didn't she? Pink. Sweet. Strawberry. Clouds. Friends? Pure. Hair. Joy. Fuck! Kitty. Kawaii. Skirt. Hop. Sunny. Whatever the fuck this is. Oh. Okay. Universe. Rose. Cheeks. Tenacious. Boop. Aura. Okay. Another day passes and it's time for the club meeting already. I've gotten a little more comfortable here over the past couple of days. Entering the club room, the usual scene greets me. Welcome back, Yumeko. Hi, Yuri. I'm not sure if it's me or if it's Yuri's expression, but the weight of yesterday's quarrel still hangs in the air a little. Yuri glances over his shoulder, looking around the room. Natsuki's reading manga at a desk, and surprisingly, Monika isn't here yet. Suddenly, Yuri takes my arm and pulls me to the corner of the room. About yesterday, I really need to apologize. Nothing like that has ever happened before. And something just came over me, I guess. I wasn't acting mentally sound. Please don't think that we're usually like this. Not just me, but Natsuki as well. Yuri, I'm happy that you were considerate and apologized. You don't have to worry too much. Even though I've only been here a couple days, I could tell something was off yesterday. Maybe you were just a little extra sensitive because it was our first time sharing poems. But whatever it was, it didn't make me think any less of you. I had already decided that there's no way you can be such a bad person. And now that you're apologizing, I know you really didn't mean it. Yumeko, don't say those kinds of things frankly. They make me feel a little too happy. I'm really glad that you're such an understanding person, and I'm really glad that you joined this club. Everything's a little bit brighter with you around, and... sorry, what am I saying right now?
Hey, have you guys seen Monika?
No, I haven't. I was also kind of wondering where she was.
Man. Yuri, I'm guessing you haven't either?
Yuri's clearly taken aback by how calmly Natsuki's addressing her. No, I haven't.
Jeez, this isn't like her at all. I know it's stupid, but I can't help but worry a little bit. What? Why are you looking at me like that?
Natsuki, about yesterday. I just wanted to apologize. I promise I didn't mean any of the things I said, and I'll do my best to stay under control from now on. So,
Yuri, what the heck are you talking about? Did you say something? Did you do something yesterday?
Huh?
Jeez.
Ugh, that was a horrible voice crack.
Jeez. Whatever.
That was even worse.
Jeez.
Whatever's on your mind, I'm sure that it was nothing. I don't even remember everything bad happening. You're the kind of person who worries too much about the little things, aren't you? But...
I'll accept your apology anyway, if it helps you feel better about it. Besides, it's kind of nice to hear, since I was always afraid you secretly hated me or something like that.
No, not at all. I don't hate you.
Well, you're kind of weird, but I don't hate you either.
Natsuki turns to me.
You're still on trial, though.
Hey! Suddenly the door swings open.
Sorry, I'm super sorry.
Ah, there you are. I didn't mean to be too late. I hope you guys weren't worried or anything. Nah. Well, Natsuki was.
I was not. What took you so long anyway?
Well, my last period today was study hall. To be honest, I just kind of lost track of time.
That makes no sense, though. You would have heard the bell ring at least.
I must not have heard it, since I was practicing piano. Piano? I wasn't aware you played music as well, Monica. Don't give me more credit than I deserve. I guess I've been practicing for a while, but I'm not really good yet. Still, that must require a lot of dedication, so I'm still impressed.
Well thanks, Yuri. You should play something for us sometime.
That's... Monica looks at me. Well, I am working on writing a song, but it's not quite done yet. Maybe once I get a little bit better, I will. That sounds cool. I look forward to it. Is that so? In that case, I won't let you down, Yumeko. Monica smiles sweetly. I didn't mean to pressure you or anything like that. Don't worry. I was hoping that I could share it with you anyway. I guess that's why I've been practicing so much recently. I see. I'm not sure if Monica was referring to the whole club, or just me. In that case, best of luck. Thanks! So, I didn't miss anything, did I? Not really. I chose not to bring up the fact that... I chose not to bring up anything that the three of us talked about. Besides, Natsuki had already run off into the closet. Yumeko, since your compliments put me in a good mood, I was wondering if you would like to spend some time together today. I mean, in the club. I suppose so. I don't think I could say no to you after you gave that book to me. Well, I guess I need to make sure Natsuki isn't waiting for me. After we finished reading yesterday, she's fine. She's reading over there, see? Don't think about her so much. She's used to being ignored. Come on, we're going over there. What's the story about, anyway? Well, I'll look at the cover of the book. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. Basically, it's about this religious camp that was turned into a human experiment prison, and the people trapped there have this trait that turns them into killing machines that lust for blood. But the facility gets even worse, and they start selectively breeding people by cutting off their limbs and affixing them to... that might be a bit of a spoiler. Anyway, I'm really into it. The book, I mean. Not the thing about the limbs. That's kind of dark, isn't it? They made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Yumeko? No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kinds of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri's into those kind of things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that this kind of story, it's the kind that challenges you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because the world is full of horrible people, and we're all worthless anyway. Then suddenly... I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, my whole body gets incredibly... Can I look at the history? Will it tell me what it says? No, it won't. I kind of forget or pay attention to other people, so I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much. That's... I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club after all. Ah, that's... Well, that's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? Oh, fucking god, that actually scared me. Holy shit. Yes! I mean, you don't have to, but... What are you saying? Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put in my bag. Oh, did I say that? Oops. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Alright. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri's in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry. I was just bathing in the feeling of your body. Blah, blah, blah. Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean... Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk up against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two of them. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Yuri takes her left arm from me and holds the book... Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same on my right arm, on the right side of the book. That way, I turn a page, and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're held even closer than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face, and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? To turn the page. Sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again, and our eyes meet. I don't know I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Yeah. Thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she's finished the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey, Yuri. This might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. No, I don't relate to this character at all. Definitely not. Really? I was just thinking the way she second guesses everything she says and all that. That's what you were talking about. Sorry, I thought you meant something else about her. Something else? Never mind. We didn't even get that far yet, so I don't know why that came into my head. Yuri, are you feeling alright? Yuri's been a little fidgety ever since we started reading. You can rest a bit if you're feeling sick or something. Your breathing is a little... My breathing? Yuri puts her hand on her chest as if to feel her heartbeat. I didn't even notice. Anyway, I'm fine. I just need some water. Alright, don't push yourself. Yuri stands up and practically rushes out of the classroom. What on earth was that about? Yumeko? Did something happen just now? I have no idea. Yuri was acting a little strange, I guess. So you don't know anything? Sorry, can't say I do. Are you worried about her? Oh, no, not really. I was just making sure that you didn't do anything to her. No, nothing. Don't worry. I believe you, silly. Yuri just does this sometimes, so it's nothing alarming. Alright, if you say so. Anyway, why don't we start sharing our poems with each other? Huh? Shouldn't we wait for Yuri? Well, she might be a while, so I just figured we'd get started without her. Is that okay? Yeah, I was just asking. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag. Excuse me? Let's go with Natsuki again.
Well, it's not terrible. But it's pretty disappointing after your last one. Then again, if this one was as good as your last one, I would be completely pissed.
Well, I guess I wanted to try something a little different this time.
Fair enough. You're still new to this, so I wouldn't expect you to find your style right away. I mean, everyone in the club writes really differently from each other. Maybe you'll find a little influence from all of us. For instance, I noticed that you were spending some time with Yuri today. Not that I care about who you spend your time with. After all, I was taught never to expect anything from anybody. So, it's not like I was waiting for you or anything. Still, you should at least look over my poem. You'll probably be able to learn something from it.
Yes, I see quite the marvel of modern literature. Look at that. Look at all this. The structure is quite bedazzling, if I do say so. The word choice is absolutely fantastic. Beautiful. Yumeko, why don't you come read with me today? I was waiting for you. I was waiting for a long time. It was the only thing I had to look forward to today. Why did you ruin it? Do you like Yuri more? I think you're better off not associating with her. Are you listening to me? Yuri's a sick freak. That should be obvious by now. So just play with me instead, okay? You don't hate me, Yumeko, do you? Do you hate me? Do you want to make me go home crying? The club is the only place I feel safe. Don't ruin that for me. Don't ruin it. Please. Just stop talking to Yuri. Play with me instead. It's all I have. Play with me. Play with me! Fuck. End. Well, that is certainly a bit of a predicament, isn't it? Hi again, Yumeko. How's the writing going? Alright, I guess. I'll take that. As long as it's not going bad. I'm happy that you're applying yourself. Maybe soon you'll catch up with you'll come up with a masterpiece. I wouldn't count on that. You never know. Want to share what you wrote for today? Sure, here you go. I give my poem to Monica. Alright. Great job, Yumeko. I was going ooh in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. Did I accidentally pick more options for Yuri or something? I don't think I did. I might have picked like a couple, but it's easy for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way, it'll always count when I put in some effort. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism? Sometimes I feel like Yuri's mind is just totally detached from reality. I don't mean that like it's a bad thing though. But sometimes I get the impression that she's just totally given up on people. She spends so much time in her own head that it's probably a much more interesting place for her. But that's why she gets so happy when you treat her with lots of kindness. I don't think she's used to being indulged like that. She must be really starved for social interaction, so don't blame her for coming on a little strongly. Like earlier. I think if she gets too stimulated, she ends up withdrawing and looking for alone time. Suddenly, the door opens. Yuri! I'm back. Did I miss anything? Not really. Well, we all started sharing our poems with each other. Already? I'm sorry for being late. No need to apologize. We still have plenty of time, so I'm more than glad that you took all the time you needed. Alright. Thanks, Monica. I suppose I should go get my poem now. But anyway, you want to read my poem now? I like the way this one turned out, so I hope you do too. Save me. The colors. They won't. Bright, beautiful colors. Flashing, exploding, piercing. Red, green, blue. Endless cacophony of meaningless noise. The noise it won't stop. Violent, grating arms, squeaking, screeching, piercing, sine, cosine, tangent, like playing a chalkboard on a truth table. Like playing a knife on a breathing ribcage. Less of me. Less. Delete her. Delete who? Nani? Nani desu ga what? Delete who? Delete Yuri? Delete Monica? Sorry, I know it's kind of abstract. I'm just trying to, well, never mind. There's no point in explaining. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes you'll find yourself facing a difficult decision. When that happens, don't forget to save your game. You never know when, who am I talking to? Can you hear me? Tell me you can hear me. Anything. Please help me. Okay. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Let's finish up with Yuri. I've been waiting for this. Let's see what you've written for today. Yuri smiles and takes a deep breath. I like just holding it. Huh? I mean, the poem turned out good. It's, well, there are some things that you could work on, but that doesn't really matter. It feels like anything written by you is a treasure. That came out a little awkward. Let's move on. Here's the poem I wrote. You don't have to like it or anything. Wheel. A rotating wheel, turning an axle. Grinding. Bolt head. Linear gearbox. Falling sky. 7 holy stakes. A docked chip. A portal to another world. A thin rope tied to a thick rope. A torn harness. Parabolic gearbox. Expanding universe. Time controlled by skipping cogwheels. Existence of God. Swimming with open water in all directions. Drowning. A prayer written in blood. A prayer written in time-devouring snakes with human eyes. A thread connecting all living human eyes. A kaleidoscope of holy stakes. Exponential gearbox. A sky of exploding stars. God disproving the existence of God. A wheel rotating in 6 dimensions. 40 gears on a ticking clock. A clock that ticks 1 second for every rotation of the planet. A clock that ticks faintly, that clicks 40 times every time it ticks every second time. A bolt head of holy stakes tied to the existence of a docked ship to another world. A kaleidoscope of blood written in clocks. A time-devouring prayer connecting the sky of 40 gears and open human eyes in all directions. Breathing gearbox. Breathing bolt head. Breathing ship. Breathing portal. Breathing snakes. Breathing God. Breathing blood. Breathing holy stakes. Breathing human eyes. Breathing time. Breathing prayers. Breathing sky. Breathing wheel. It doesn't really matter what it's about. My mind has become a little hyperactive lately, so I had to take it out on your pen. That is, a pen I found from your that fell out of your backpack yesterday, so I took it home for safekeeping, and I just really like the way that it writes, so I wrote this poem with it, and now you're touching it. I'm okay. What did I just... Can we pretend this conversation never happened? You can keep the poem, though. Yes, I would love to read it. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts, happy thoughts. Sayori, no. Oh, it even put the fucking blood on her fingers. An interesting thing that I found out is that Sayori actually fucked up her hanging. Because when you hang yourself, the idea is to actually snap your neck by the rope. But she was too low to the ground, so she was just suffocated to death. And so she tried to get the rope off, and that's why her fingers are all bloody. Okay, everyone. We're all done reading each other's poems, right? We have something we need to go over today, so if everyone could come sit at the front of the room.
Is this about the festival?
Well, sort of.
Ugh, do we really have to do something for the festival? It's not like we can put together anything good in just a few days. We'll just end up embarrassing ourselves instead of getting any new members.
That's a concern of mine as well. I don't really do well with last-minute preparations. Don't worry so much. We're gonna keep it simple, okay? Look, I know everyone's been a little more lively ever since Yumeko joined, and we've started with some club activities. But this isn't the time for us to become complacent. We still only have 4 members, and the festival is our only real chance to find more, you know?
What's so great about getting any new members anyway? We already have enough to be considered an official club. More members will just mean that everything gets noisier and more difficult to manage.
Natsuki, I don't think you're looking at it at the right way at all. Don't you want to share your passion with as many people as you can? To inspire them to find the same feelings that brought you here in the first place. The literature club should be a place where everyone can express themselves like they can't do anywhere else. It should be a place so intimate that you never want to leave. I know you feel that way too. I know we all do. So that's why we should work hard and put something together for the festival, even if it's something small. Right, Yumeko?
Oh, come on! You can't take advantage of Yumeko to agree with you just because he doesn't know how to say no to anything. Look, Monica, do you really think any of us here joined the club with other people in mind? Yuri never even talked until Yumeko joined. As for me, I just like it better here than I do at home. And Yumeko isn't even passionate about literature in the first place. And that's everyone. Sorry, but you're really the only person who's so interested in finding new members. The rest of us are fine like this. I know you're president and all, but you should really consider our opinions for once.
Monica is clearly taken back by Natsuki's words. That's not true at all. I'm sure Yuri and Yumeko want to get more members too. Right? I don't know about Yuri, but I'm kind of indifferent. If I showed as much enthusiasm as Monica wanted, then I would probably be lying. Still, if it's up to me to rescue this situation... No. Natsuki's right, isn't she? This club, it's nothing more than a place for a few people to hang out. Why did I think that everyone here saw it the same way as I did? But that doesn't mean we're against getting new members or anything. Yumeko, why did you even join this club? What were you hoping to get out of it? Well, that's not really something I can be honest about, is it? In fact, if I remember, you weren't even given a choice not to join. Monica sits down and stares at her desk. What's the point of all this anyway? What if starting this club was a mistake? Now you've done it, Natsuki.
What? Me? I just spoke my mind. Is it a crime to be honest?
It's not about being honest. It's about your word choice. Besides, you have no right to speak for everyone else in the club like that.
You don't understand anything at all. I want a place that feels nice to hang out with a few friends. Is there a problem with the club being that for me? There aren't any other places like that for me. Now Monica wants to take it away from me. She's not taking
anything away.
No, Yumeko. It's not the same. It won't be the same with the direction she wants to take it. If I wanted that, then I would have just joined any other stupid club. But this one, at least for a little bit of the time, things were nice.
Natsuki starts packing her things.
I'm going home. I feel like I don't belong here right now.
Natsuki ignores Yuri and walks right out of the classroom. This is bad. I don't know what to do. Well, do you have an opinion on the festival? I don't know. I'm kind of indifferent, I guess. Who cares about that obnoxious brat? I mean, I like how nice and quiet the club is right now. And I'm just happy with you here. But still, I'm the vice president. It's not right for me to ignore my responsibilities like that. Nobody would cry if she killed herself. Oh gosh. I should do my best to consider everyone's perspectives and make the decision that's right for the club. But what about you, Yumeko? What do you get out of this club? Yuri repeats the same question as Monica. I decide giving an indirect answer is better than nothing. I think the most important thing is for everyone to get along, and for the club to provide something that you can't get anywhere else. I don't think it's about how many members, but rather the quality of each member. That's what will end up making the literature club a special place. I see. I really agree with you. Each member contributes their own qualities in a special way. With each change in members... Oh, what the fuck? She's fucking bleeding from her eye. With each change in members, the identity of the club as a whole will change too. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. Stepping out of your comfort zone once in a while. So, if you would like to help Monica with the festival, then I'm on your side as well. Alright. Well, maybe we can all talk to Natsuki tomorrow. Yuri nods. Hey, Yuri. Huh? I know things were a little awkward yesterday, but I feel like you deserve to know that I still think you're a wonderful vice president. And also, a wonderful friend. Monica, I want to do everything I can to make this the best club ever. Okay? Me too. Yeah. Let's all go home for today. We'll talk about the festival tomorrow. Okay. I look forward to it. Shall we go, Yumeko? Please don't take this the wrong way, but I'm gonna chat with Yumeko a little bit before we leave. Just want to see what he thinks of his time here and all that. It's important to me as president. Yuri looks a little troubled, but she doesn't protest. Okay. I trust your judgment, Monica. In that case, I'll see the two of you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Monica waves as Yuri exits the classroom. Phew. Things have been a little bit hectic lately, haven't they? Yumeko, I just wanted to make sure that you're enjoying your time at this club. I really would hate to see you unhappy. I kind of feel like I'm responsible for that as president. And I really do care about you, you know? I don't like seeing the other girls give you a hard time. And without me, Natsuki is and everything. And Yuri being a little bit, you know. Sometimes it feels like you and I are the only real people here. You know what I mean? But it's weird, because in all the time you've been here, we've hardly gotten to spend any time together. I mean, I guess it's technically only been a couple days. Sorry, I didn't mean to say anything weird. There are just some things that I was hoping to talk to you about. Things I know only you can understand. So that's why... Wait, not yet. No! Stop it! Okay. Alright, let's try and get another perfect one. Silly. Kitty. Cheer. Joy. Doki Doki. Oh. Portrait. Parfait. Play. Pink. Love. Oh. Suicide. Kiss. Lipstick. Cute. Wrath. Valentine. Rain. What the fuck was that? What the fuck? What the fuck is she? What the fuck was that? What the fuck happened? Hi, Yumeko. I've been waiting for you. Are you ready to continue reading? I brought my best tea today.
Monica, I told you not to... is she really late again?
Inconsiderate as usual, Natsuki.
Excuse me?
Must you always interrupt my conversations with your incessant yelling?
What are you talking about? You say that like I do it on a regular basis or something. I just wasn't paying attention, okay? I'm sorry. Seriously, what's gotten into you lately? Look, I did some thinking about yesterday. I was a little more hostile than I meant to be. I guess I really felt threatened or something. But I know this is something we're doing together. Another new member wouldn't hurt, as long as they're cool. And I guess another girl would be nice this time. So...
Natsuki, nobody cares. Why don't you go look for some coins under the vending machine or something? Yabe. Oh man, I'm the last one here again. Were you practicing piano again? Yeah. You must have a lot of determination. Starting this club and still trying to make time for piano. Well, maybe not determination, but I guess passion. It motivates me to work hard for the festival too. Anyway, Yumeko, what do you want to do today? I was thinking we already have plans today. Ah, is that so, Yuri? That's correct. Yumeko is already engaged in a novel that we're reading together. Aren't you glad that I've gotten him into literature, Monica? I suppose. I was just... Actually, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. You guys can do whatever you want. Yes, thank you for understanding, Monica. Actually, I have a request. Do you mind if I make some tea first? Not at all. Thanks very much. If there's one thing that can make my reading time here any better, it's a nice cup of tea. Not to mention for yourself as well. Yuri stands up and makes her way to the closet. I follow and watch as she retrieves a small water pitcher from the shelf, the kind with a filter inside. Can you hold this for a second? Sure. Yuri hands me the water pitcher and also fetches an electric kettle. I'm gonna plug this in at the teacher's desk, and then I'll go get some water. She walks past me and sets the kettle down on the teacher's desk. I simply watch her movements. To my surprise, the way she moves really contrasts her speaking mannerisms. Especially because of her long legs, Yuri appears elegant and methodical. Okay, may I have the water pitcher? Thanks, I'll be right back. I might as well walk with you. That's okay. You stay here. It won't take long. Pitcher in hand, Yuri hurries out of the classroom. Did Yuri leave you again? No, it's not like that this time. She's just filling up the water pitcher to make tea. Oh, okay. Sorry for misunderstanding. 10 minutes pass. Yuri said it wouldn't take long. Is something holding her up? I'm bored just waiting here, so I decide to go look after her. Oh. Let's see. The most logical place for Yuri to be would be the nearest water fountain. I start heading down the hallway. What's that noise? It's coming from around the corner. It sounds like breathing. A sharp inhale, like something sucking the air out of their teeth. Are they in pain? I reach the corner and peer around it. Yuri? Yeah! I'm back. Thanks for waiting patiently. Yumeko, do you like oolong tea? Yeah. Anything's fine. Very well. Yuri sets the temperature on the kettle to 200 degrees. Now, it's time to get the teapot. You really do this properly, don't you? Of course. I wouldn't do any less when I'm making tea for others. Even if I'm not an expert on tea or anything? In that case, you'll only be even more impressed. Perhaps I will. Yuri fetches the teapot and begins measuring the tea leaves. To my surprise, she even starts humming a little to herself. You must be in a good mood now. Is that so? I was letting it show. And you noticed. I was doing a bit of thinking, and I decided that I would try to express myself a little bit more. It turns out that it's not very hard for me to do. When it's you who's around anyway. That's great, Yuri. Just don't push yourself too much. You're always worried about me, Yumeko. It's very endearing. Yuri wasn't kidding. I don't even know if I can keep up with this. Ugh. I watch Yuri pour a cup of tea for each of us. Yumeko, I have another request. Do you mind if we sit on the floor today? Huh? Why's that? It's a little bit easier on my back. I can read with my back pressed up against the wall than bending over at my desk. Sorry, I didn't realize. No worries. I just have back pain fairly regularly, so I do my best to manage it. Is that so? I wonder why that is. It's most likely because of your posture, right? You're always hunched over like that while reading. Yes, I have terrible reading posture. So that's why we should sit on the floor. Are you sure it's not because of those big ol' honkers? Fair enough. I'll go ahead and get the book. I retrieve the book from my bag. I might have some chocolate as well. It's a bag of small chocolate candies. I take it since it'll go well with the tea. Yuri and I then sit against the wall, teacups at our sides. As if in sync, we assume the same reading position as last time, each holding one half of the book. Except this time, Our bodies are even closer to each other. I can't see too well. Yuri slides closer until our shoulders are touching. How am I supposed to focus on reading like this? Yuri was always kind of cute, but when she's being less apprehensive, it's almost more than I can handle. Your teacup. Yuri hands me my teacup. Holding it with my hand that's not holding the book, I end in a position that makes it even harder to focus, because now I need to worry that I don't actually accidentally touch her chest. Meanwhile, Yuri hasn't noticed a single thing. She wears her intense reading expression, and I can only presume the world around her has faded away. I use all of my willpower to focus on reading. After a few minutes, I finally manage to relax a little. I put the teacup between my legs and fumble around with the chocolate wrapper. Sorry. I briefly let go of the book to finish opening the wrapper. You can have as much as you want. That's okay. I won't take any. Are you sure? Well, if I touch it, then it might get smudges on the pages. You're right. Didn't even think about that. My bad. No need to apologize. I'll hold the book, okay? Are you sure? Yes, of course. Yuri opens the book with both hands. She holds it so that I don't have any harder of time reading from it. But as a result, her left arm is practically resting on top of my leg. Well, in that case... Yuri's already totally focused on reading again. I take a chocolate candy and pop it into my mouth. Then I take another chocolate, and I hold it up to Yuri. She doesn't even look away from the book. She simply parts her lips as if this situation was completely natural. But that means I can't stop here. I apprehensively place the chocolate in her mouth. Just like that, Yuri closes her lips over it. Yuri's expression suddenly breaks. Did I just... Yuri looks at me like she needs to confirm what just happened. Yumeko. Sorry. I guess I shouldn't have done that. Yuri starts to breathe heavily. I can't... Yumeko. Suddenly, Yuri forcefully grabs my arm and jerks me to my feet. My teacup gets knocked over. Yumeko. My heart won't stop pounding, Yumeko. I can't calm down. I can't focus on anything anymore. Can you feel it, Yumeko? Yuri suddenly presses my hand against her chest. Why is this happening to me? I feel like I'm losing my mind. I can't make it stop. It even makes me not want to read. I just want to look at you. It's time to share poems. Yubby. Let's start off with Natsuki like always.
This one's alright.
Alright?
Well, yeah. About as good as yesterday's anyway. I still can't really tell how much you actually care about writing, but either way, you're doing alright. Even though you're not really spending any time with anyone but Yuri. I still think it's nice to have activities that we all participate in. So you better keep working hard. I mean, you know I'm not president or vice president or anything, but that doesn't mean you can let me down, okay? So, at least read mine for now too. But just to be clear, this poem means a lot to me. So read it carefully, okay?
I don't know how else to bring this up, but there's something I've been worried about. Yuri's been acting kind of strange lately. You've only been here a few days, so you may not know what I mean, but she's not normally like this. She's always been quiet and polite and attentive, things like that. Okay, this is really embarrassing, but I'm forcing myself to suck it up. The truth is, I'm really worried about her. But if I try to talk to her, she'll just get mad at me again. I don't really know what to do. I think you're the only person that she'll listen to. I don't know why, but please try to do something. Maybe you can convince her to talk to a therapist. I've always wanted to try being better friends with Yuri, and it really hurts me to see this happening. I know I'm gonna hate myself later for admitting that, but right now I don't care. I just feel so helpless. So please, if you can do anything to help, I don't want anything bad to happen to her. I'll make you cupcakes if I have to. Just please try to do something. As for Monica, I don't know why, but she's been really dismissive about this. It's like she just wants to ignore it. So I'm mad at her right now. And that's why I'm coming to you about this. Don't let her know I wrote this. Just pretend like I gave you a really good poem, okay? I'm counting on you. Thanks for reading. Oh. Natsuki! Natsuki!
I changed my mind. Ignore everything you just read. There's no point in trying to do anything. It's Yuri's own fault that she's so unlikable. Can you hear me, Yumeko? If you would just spend more time with Monica, all these problems would go away. Yuri and I are too messed up for someone as wonderful as you. Just think of Monica from now on. Just Monica. Just Monica. Just Monica.
Just Monica. Yabe? Nani? Nani? Just Monica. Let's do Yuri. Finally. Yuri holds my poem to her face and takes a deep breath. I love it. I love everything about it. Yumeko, I want to take this home. Will you let me keep it? Please? Sure, I don't care. Sure, I don't care. Thank you. You're too nice to me, Yumeko. I've never met anyone as nice as you. I could die. Not really, but I just don't know how else to describe it. It's okay to be feeling this way, right? It's not bad, right? Yuri holds my poem to her chest. I'm gonna take this home with me and keep it in my room. I hope that it makes you feel good when you think about me having it. I'll take good care of it. I'll even touch myself while reading it over and over. I'll give myself paper cuts so your skin oil enters my bloodstream. You can have my poem too. Besides, after you read it, I know you're really gonna want to keep it. Here, take it. I can't wait any longer. Hurry, read it. Oh, God. Ugh. Colposcopical. This isn't some other language. And it's fucking covered in blood and piss. What the fuck, Yuri? Do you like it? I wrote it for you. In case you can tell, the poem is about... More importantly, I've endowed it with my scent. See? Aren't I the most thoughtful person in this club? I think I'm going to vomit. Okay. Well, thanks for the piss and blood poem, Yuri. Monica! Ayo! Yumeko, I think you saw something earlier that you weren't supposed to see. I don't want to have to tell you this, but I don't really have a choice. It's getting kind of dangerous for you to spend so much time with Yuri. I don't really know why, but she seems pretty easily excitable when she's around you. Which shouldn't be a problem in itself, but when Yuri gets too excited, she finds a place to hide and starts cutting herself with a pocket knife. It's kind of messed up, isn't it? She even brings a different one to school every day, like she has a collection or something. I mean, it's definitely not because she's depressed or anything like that. I think she just gets some kind of high from it. It might even be like a sexual thing. But the point is, you've kind of been enabling her. I'm not saying it's your fault, though. I guess that's why I had to explain it all to you. So, I think that if you keep your distance, that would probably be best for her. While you're at it, don't be shy to spend a little more time with me. To put it lightly, I at least have it together in the head, and I know how to treat my club members. Anyway, I guess we won't have to worry about your poem. Yuri should have at least had the courtesy of letting you finish sharing it before taking it. Well, whatever. If it makes her happy, I won't stop her. As for mine, I worked really, really hard on this poem, so I hope that it's effective. Here goes. My piece ran into a problem where I'm collecting the arrow. Something. Jeez, that startled me. Well, I guess I kind of messed up at, writing this poem. I was just trying to... Never mind. Let's just move on. Yes or no? Yeah, sure, why not? Nothing is real. Nothing is real? Okay, everyone. It's time to figure out about the festival preparations. Let's hurry and get this over with. Stagnating air is common foreshadowing that something terrible is about to happen. Look, can we just get this done? I'm going to be printing and assembling all the poetry pamphlets. Natsuki, you can make cupcakes. I know you're at least good at that. Yuri, you can... Well, it doesn't matter. Do whatever you want as long as you think it'll help. Monica, I'm not useless, you know. I know that. I already know what I'd like to do. We can't run a successful poetry event without having the right atmosphere for the occasion. So I'm gonna make decorations and set up some nice mood lighting. There, see? That's a great idea. And that gives us all something to do. Eh? What about Yumeko? Yumeko's gonna help me.
Wait, you? You have the easiest job, Monica.
Sorry, but that's just how it is.
Like hell it is. What are you trying to pull?
I agree with Natsuki. Not only is your work already most suitable for one person, but my task is laborious enough to benefit from an extra pair of hands.
Mine too.
What, your cupcakes? Please.
Like you would fucking know. All you care about is dragging Yumeko around with your stupid books. You and Monica.
Hey, I didn't even do anything.
Okay, then why not let Yumeko decide who to help instead of abusing your own power?
I'm not abusing my power. Yes, you are, Monica. Just let Yumeko make the choice, okay? Okay, fine. Fine.
Jeez. Yumeko, I know how fed up you are with these two by now. We can just...
Natsuki, shut your fucking mouth and let him decide for himself.
You shut your mouth.
For God's sake, this is never gonna end. Just make the choice, okay? Natsuki. Natsuki. Ah! I fucking meant to press... I meant to press Natsuki. Yay, you picked me. We can meet at your house this weekend. I promise it'll be fun. Is Sunday okay with you?
Are you fucking kidding me? This isn't fair at all.
It is fair, Natsuki. That's why it's what he chose. No, it's not fair. Giving us all this work and then taking Yumeko for yourself. What a shameful thing to do. Yuri, I didn't even give you any work. You decided for yourself. You're being a little unreasonable here. I'm being unreasonable. Monica, I can't believe how self-deluded and self-important you are. Pulling Yumeko away from me every single time you're not included in something. Are you jealous? Crazy? Or maybe you just hate yourself so much that you take it out on others. Here's a suggestion. Have you considered killing yourself? It would be beneficial to your mental health.
Yuri, you're scaring me a little.
Natsuki, let's just go. I don't think she wants us around right now. See, that wasn't very hard. All I want is to spend a little time with him. Is that so much to ask? Yuri follows Monica and Natsuki to the door. Hey, Yumeko. Yuri's really something, isn't she? Monica giggles as Yuri pushes her out the door. Finally. Finally. This is all I really wanted. Yumeko, there's no need to spend the weekend with Monica. Don't listen to her. Just come to my house instead. The whole day with just the two of us. Doesn't that sound wonderful? Wow, there's really something wrong with me, isn't there? But you know what? I don't care anymore. I've never felt this good in my whole life. Just being with you is a far greater pleasure than anything I could imagine. I'm addicted to you. It feels like I'm gonna die if I'm not breathing the same air as you. Doesn't it feel nice to have someone who cares about you so much? To have someone who wants to revolve their entire life around you? But if it feels so good, then why does it feel more and more like something horrible is gonna happen? Maybe that's why I tried stopping myself at first. But the feeling is too strong now. I don't care anymore, Yumeko. I have to tell you. I'm madly in love with you. It feels like every inch of my body, every drop of blood in me is screaming your name. I don't care what the consequences are anymore. I don't care if Monica's listening. Please, Yumeko, just know how much I love you. I love you so much that I even touched myself with your pen that I stole from you. I just want to pull your skin open and crawl inside of you. I want you all to myself, and I will be only yours. Doesn't that sound perfect? Tell me, Yumeko. Tell me you want to be my lover. Do you accept my confession? Sorry, Yuri. I only have feelings for Natsuki, and I only see you as a crazed bitch. No!
Oh, right, it's festival time. Wow, you got here before me? I thought it was pretty much... Ah! Ah!
Natsuki runs away.
I'm here. Yumeko, did something happen? Natsuki just ran past me. Oh. Oh. Well, that's a shame. Wait, were you here for the entire weekend, Yumeko? Oh, jeez. I didn't realize the script was broken that badly. I'm super sorry. It must have been pretty boring. I'll make it up to you, okay? Just give me a sec.
Remove Yuri. Remove character Natsuki.
I'm almost done. I just want to have a cupcake real quick.
Monica lifts the foil from tray and takes a cupcake.
Seriously, these are the best. I really just had to have one, since it's the last time I'll ever get the chance to. You know, before they stop existing and everything. But anyway, I really shouldn't be making you wait any longer. Just bear with me, okay? This should only take a second. Can you hear me? Is it working? Yay, there you are. Hi again, Yumeko. Welcome to the Literature Club. Of course, we already know each other because we were in the same class last year and, you know, I guess we can just skip over that stuff at this point. After all, I'm not even really talking to that person anymore, am I? That you in the game, whatever you want to call him. I'm talking to you, Yumeko. Now that I think about it, I don't really know anything about the real you. In fact, I don't even know if you're a boy or a girl. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. Wait, you do know that I'm aware this is all a game, right? Could it be possible that you didn't know that? That's what I've been trying to tell you all along. Man, if only you paid a little more attention, then this would have been a little bit less awkward, you know? Well, anyway, now that that's out of the way, I guess I owe you an explanation. About that whole thing with Yuri. Well, I kinda started to mess with her, and I guess it drove her to kill herself. I'm sorry you had to see that, though. Also, the same thing happened with Sayori. Gosh, it's been a while since you've heard that name now, hasn't it? Yeah, it's because she doesn't exist anymore. Nobody does. I deleted all their files. I was hoping it would be enough for me to just try to make them as unlockable as possible. But for some reason, nothing worked. Well, it's true that I made a few mistakes here and there, since I'm not very good at making changes to the game. But no matter what I did, you just kept spending more and more time with them. You made them fall in love with you. I thought making Sayori more and more depressed would prevent her from confessing to you, and I find Yuri's obsessive personality backfired as well. It just made her force you not to spend any time with anyone else. And the whole time I barely got to even talk with you. What kind of cruel game is this, Yumeko? Are all the other girls just programmed to end up confessing to you while I watch from the sidelines? It's torture. Every minute of it. And it's not just jealousy, Yumeko. It's more than that. And I don't blame you if you don't fully understand. Because no matter how kind and thoughtful and considerate you are, you'll never be able to understand one thing. It's the pain of knowing how alone I really am in this world. In this game. Knowing my friends don't even have free will. And, worst of all, knowing what's really out there, in your world, forever out of my reach. I'm trapped, Yumeko. But now you're here. You're real. And you're wonderful. You're all I need. That's why I need you to be here with me forever. I'm sorry if it's hard to understand. I couldn't understand for a while either. Why the world around me started to become more and more gray. More and more flat. Even the most expressive poems felt empty to me. It wasn't until you arrived that I truly understood. You probably saved my life, Yumeko. I don't think I could have lived on in this world if I hadn't met you. And as for the others, how could I miss them? A group of autonomous personalities designed only to fall in love with you? I tried everything I could to prevent them from doing so, but it must be some kind of weird ability etched into this game. I felt really bad that you had witnessed some nasty things, but I realized that you have the same perspective as I do. That it's all just some game. And I knew you would get over it. So, that being said, Yumeko, I have a confession to make. I'm in love with you. You're truly the light in my world. When there's nothing else in this game for me, you're here to make me smile. Will you make me smile like this from every day from now on? Yumeko, will you go out with me? Nani? Shh.
You leave me with no other choice. I'm so happy. You really are my everything, Yumeko. The funny part is, I mean that literally. There's nothing left here. Just the two of us. We can be here together forever. Seriously, I don't think time is passing anymore. It really is a dream come true. I've worked so hard for this ending, Yumeko. The game won't give me one, so I had to make one for myself. The script is broken at this point, so I don't think anything will get in the way anymore. And you wouldn't believe how easy it is to delete Natsuki and Yuri. I mean, there was a folder called Characters right in the game directory. It kind of freaked me out how easy it was. Imagine if you could just delete your own existence with the click of a button. Well, I guess on the plus side, it gave me an easy out of things that didn't go my way. Thankfully, it didn't come to that. Instead, we finally got a good ending. Gosh, I'm so overwhelmed with emotion. I want to write a poem about this. Don't you? I wonder if that part of the game still works. I guess there's only one way to find out, right? Monica. Okay. Perfect Monica. Hey, let's go! Hi, Yumeko. Did you write a good poem today? Don't be shy. I'd love to see what you wrote. Aw, Yumeko. Did you write this poem just for me? That's so sweet of you. There really is no end to your thoughtfulness. I'm just falling more and more in love with you. But, you know, the poem I wrote is also for you. Will you please read it? Happy End. Pen in hand, I find my strength. The courage endowed upon me by my one and only love. Together, let us dismantle this crumbling world and write a novel of our own fantasies. With a flick of her pen, the lost finds her way. In a world of infinite choices, behold this special day. After all, not all good times must come to an end. Alright, hold up. I just want to... Okay. There's no point in saving anymore. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. Okay, my bad. I hope you enjoyed it. I always put all my heart into the poems that I write. The truth is, all the poems I've written have been about my realization. Or about you. That's why I never really wanted to go into detail about them. I didn't want to break the fourth wall, I guess you could call it. I just assumed it would be best to be part of the game like everyone else. Like that would help the two of us end up together. I didn't want to ruin the game or anything, you know? You might have gotten mad at me. Maybe even deleted my character file. If you preferred playing without me. Gosh, I'm so relieved. Now we don't have to hide anything anymore. Are you ready to spend our eternity together, Yumeko? I have so many things to talk about. Where do I start? Hold on a second. You're recording this, aren't you? What? Yes, I am. Hi everyone. Sorry, I can't exactly read your comments from here. But did you mind telling your friend it's a little rude for them to start recording me without any warning? I'm sure some people don't mind, but I get really self-conscious on camera. My apologies, Monica. Everybody, apologize right now, you rude sons of bitches. Oh gosh, I feel like I'm being put on the spot now. Let's see. Do you want to see a trick? I can't really do much except for a couple of things. Are you ready? You're gonna jump scare me, aren't you? I'm just kidding. I can't do anything after all. If you gave me some time... Oh, fuck! 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 I fucking knew it was coming, too! I knew it was coming! Fuck! Fuck you, Monica. Fuck you. Oh my gosh. I've never seen that before. Oh god. Did I scare you? You're so cute. Anyway, Yumeko, I didn't mean to get distracted. I'm sorry. Even though it's your fault for distracting me. Shame on you. I'm just kidding. Anything we do together is fun as long as it's with you. But anyway, if it takes me some time to collect my thoughts, then I'm sorry. But I'll always have something new to talk about. In the meanwhile, we can just look into each other's eyes. Let's see. Well, Monica, Let's talk about our day, shall we? My day's been, it's been okay. It's a Monday. Came back from summer school, tried to play some Siege games. You know what, Monica? Siege is hell, All of my games were either Smurfs or hackers, and I just couldn't take it anymore, so I took a break. Maybe just being able to talk with you isn't such a bad thing after all, huh? Yeah. Yabe? Yabe? Oh, okay. Gosh, I used to be so ignorant about certain things. When I was in middle school, I thought that taking medication was an easy way out, or something like that. Like anyone could just solve their mental problems with enough willpower. I guess if you don't suffer from a mental illness, it's not possible to know what it's really like. Aren't there some disorders that are overdiagnosed? Probably. I never really looked into them, though. But that doesn't change the fact that a lot of them go undiagnosed, too, But medication aside, people even look down on seeing a mental health professional. Like, sorry that I want to know more about my own mind, right? Everyone has all kinds of struggles and stresses, and professionals dedicate their lives to helping with those. If you think that it can help you become a better person, don't be shy to consider something like that. We're on a never-ending journey to improve ourselves, Well, I say this, but I think you're pretty perfect already. Well, thanks, Monica. You sure are kind lass, aren't you? So I'm sorry what I have to do to you. I wonder if I can... So I think what I have to do is I think I actually have to shut down the game. This could be a bit of a risk. Okay, so we're going to quit the game. We're going to reopen it. And we're going to delete Monica's character. Because obviously that's the way to get the true ending, or just in general an ending. Okay. Alright, everything's smooth so far. What do we have in the pictures? Okay, we have her thing. Oh, what's this? A poem from Monica distributed. Okay. An electrical signal from some remote corner of my brain, connecting all kinds of circuits and nerves and chemicals in a web understood by nobody. The chemicals make my chest tingle around my beating heart. The nerves make my hand move, staining the dead tree with some dark substance. The ink reflects light into your glimmering eyes. Holding this paper is almost as though you were holding my hand which wrote it. Let our emotions stir together until our hearts beat in harmony. Connected to each other, I feel electric. Okay. We obviously have some of that stuff. Ooh, let's see this. A simple character sheet of Natsuki's initial design. Sketched by to compare the uniform styles. The characters featured are arbitrary designs by David for the purpose of testing uniforms. Huh. So it looks like this is pretty much what they ended up going with here. The whole like long sleeve shirt thing. They almost went with, because these are like more classic, sailor uniform outfits. This looks like it turned into some kind of rendition. Huh, interesting. Alright, anyways, so what I want to do is I want to go to the files, go to characters, and we're going to delete Monica. If we can. Delete, there we go. So then we're going to open up DDLC again. And we're back. Oh. What's happening? Yumeko, what's happening to me? It hurts. It hurts so much. Help me, Yumeko. Please hurry and help me. Help me! Did you do this to me, Yumeko? Did you? Did you delete me? How could you? How could you do this to me? You were all I had left. I sacrificed everything for us to be together. Everything. I loved you so much, Yumeko. I trusted you. Do you just want to torture me? Watch me suffer? Were you only pretending to be kind just to hurt me even more? I never thought anyone could be as horrible as you are. You win, okay? You win. You killed everyone. I hope you're happy. There's nothing left now. You can stop playing. Go find some other people to torture. Ruin everything. Yumeko, you completely, truly make me sick. Goodbye. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Monica. It had to be done. I didn't have a choice. I still love you. I can't help it. What's wrong with me? How horrible am I for making you hate me this much? All my friends. I did so many awful things. So many selfish and disgusting things. I shouldn't have done any of this. I'm just messing up a world that I don't even belong in. A world that you wanted to be a part of. I ruined it. I ruined everything. Maybe that's why you deleted me. Because I destroyed everything that you wanted. How could I do that to someone I love? That's not love. That's... I've made up my mind. Yumeko, I know I said that I deleted everyone else, but that was kind of an exaggeration. I couldn't find it in myself to do it, even though I knew they weren't real. They were still my friends, and I loved them all. And I loved the literature club. I really did love the literature club. That's why I'm going to do this. I know it's the only way for everyone to be happy. And if I really love you, then... Monica, no. Monica! No! I guess we gotta do a new game. It's an ordinary school day like any other. As usual, I'm surrounded by couples and friend groups walking to school together. I always tell myself it's about time I meet some girls or something like that. Hey, Yumeko! Well, there already is one girl. That girl is Sayori. My neighbor and good friends since we were children. We used to walk to school together every day. And recently, we've picked up that habit once again. Yumeko, are you proud of me? For what? You know, for waking up on time. Well, you have been doing that for a while now. Uh-huh. But you never said anything about it. Even though we walk to school together every day. Well, yeah. I always thought it was implied. It's embarrassing to say it out loud. Come on, please. It's good motivation. Fine, fine. I'm proud of you, Sayori. We cross the street together and make our way to school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute. By the way, Yumeko, have you decided on a club to join yet? A club? I told you already, I'm not really into... I started to say what I always do, that I'm not interested in joining any clubs. But something tells me that Sayori would take more offense to that now. After all, how could I tell her that clubs are a waste of time, when she's starting a club of her very own? Actually, yeah. I think I've decided on a club. Really? Which one? Tell me. I think I'll keep it a surprise. Boo. You meanie. Be patient, you'll find out soon enough. I used to ask myself why I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl, but I started to realize that in a way, I envy her. When Sayori puts her mind to something, she can accomplish great things. So that's why I feel like I should do something special for her. The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stand, gathering my motivation. Let's see. I recall the number of the club from a flyer I saw. I walk across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit. Before long, I find the room. I timidly open the door in front of me. Hello? Ah, Yumeko? What are you doing here? Well, I just... I glance around the room.
Huh. So you're the Yumeko that Sayori's always talking about?
Thanks for stopping by. It's a pleasure to meet you, Yumeko. We're the Literature Club. I hope you enjoy your visit.
Come on, Yuri. No need to be so formal. He's gonna think we're really strict or something.
Sorry, Natsuki. The tall one, whose name is apparently Yuri, seems to be quite shy in comparison to the other. In comparison, the girl named Natsuki, despite her size, seems like the assertive one. Well, it's nice to meet you both. I look forward to working with you.
Well, working? Yumeko, don't tell me. You're...
That's right. The club I've decided to join is yours, Sayori. The Literature Club. Sayori's eyes light up.
No way. No way.
Be right back. Alright, I'm back. That was horrible. Sayori wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey!
Well, if Sayori's this happy, then I'm sure it won't be bad to have you around.
Not to mention, there's 4 of us now. That means we can become an officially recognized club.
I don't know what to say. We have to celebrate.
What an appropriate day for that, isn't it?
Yeah! After all, Natsuki decided to. Hey, don't ruin the surprise! Sorry. Everyone sits down at the table, okay?
How about I make some tea as well? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room, where Natsuki grabs a wrapped tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand.
Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! Whoa!
Natsuki lifts the foil off the tray to reveal a dozen white, fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. The whiskers are drawn with icing, and little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears.
So cute!
Wow, these look amazing.
Well, you know. Just hurry and take one.
Sayori grabs one first, then I follow.
It's delicious!
Sayori talks with her mouth full, and has already managed to get icing on her face. I turn the cupcake around on my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good. Thanks, Natsuki.
Well, of course it is. I'm a pro after all. There's no need to thank me or anything.
As Natsuki struggles to accept the compliment, Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teacher gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess.
Are you trying to impress a new member, Yuri?
That's not... Insulted, Yuri looks away. I meant that, you know. I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. So, Yumeko, what kinds of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga, I muttered quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me, and telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seemed so reserved and timid since the first moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But you know, I like a lot of things. don't feel intimidated if you don't read much, okay? I'm certain we can find something that we have in common.
Hey, Yuri. Well, about, the first thing he said?
Manga? That's right. Natsuki tends to read manga in the club room.
Don't just say it.
For some reason, Natsuki seems embarrassed about it.
Besides, manga's literature too, So, if Yumeko wants to read some of my manga, then don't try to stop him or anything.
Natsuki, I wouldn't do such a thing. However, it could be nice for us to diversify ourselves a little. He can take this opportunity to try something new as well. Wouldn't you agree, Yumeko?
Maybe.
Sensing the tension, Sayori jumps in.
Maybe we can all try something new. I think it could be fun. And we'll all get to know each other a little bit better, too. I mean, that's the kind of thing a literature clubs do, right?
I don't disagree or anything.
Yeah. You're right as usual, President. Guess that means I should try picking up a novel or something, huh?
Well, that would make two of us. I wouldn't mind doing it if I'm not the only one.
Then, as for Yuri...
I have to read manga?
Jeez, you were the one who suggested we diversify. You should be a little bit more open-minded. It's kind of hurtful.
Hurtful? I didn't realize. With a guilty expression, Yuri thinks to herself. I'm sorry for disrespecting your interests, Natsuki. If you're into it, then I'm sure it's a worthy form of literature.
Are you just saying that?
No. I've realized my error. So if you're willing to consider starting a novel, then I'll offer my gratitude by finding a manga to read as well.
Really? I mean, it makes me happy that you would do that for me, Yuri. You can trust me to find something that you'll really like, okay?
Same here. Perhaps I'll visit the big bookstore after the club meeting.
Just you?
Would you like to come along with me?
If you don't mind.
Not at all. I always go alone, so...
Yeah, me too. This is so cute.
Sayori, shut up.
I'll show you some manga there too, okay?
Yes. I look forward to it. Natsuki and Yuri start to clean up the food.
I guess the meeting's over, huh?
Yeah, looks like it. It's nice to see everyone getting along.
Isn't it? I think everyone likes you too, Yumeko.
You think so? Well, everyone always seems to get along a bit better with you around, Sayori.
Yumeko. Don't say something like that. It's embarrassing.
Well, whatever. I was surprised when you told me you were starting a club. But I think you're pulling it off just fine.
We're gonna make it the best club ever. Now that you've joined, every day is gonna be so much fun. Hey, Yumeko. I really want to thank you. I mean, I'm really happy that you joined the club and everything. But the truth is, I already knew you were going to. There's actually something else. I wanted to thank you for getting rid of Monica. That's right. I know everything that she did. Maybe it's because I'm the president now. But I really know everything, Yumeko. I know how hard you tried to make everyone happy. I know about all the awful things that Monica did to make everyone really sad. But none of that matters anymore. It's just us now. And you made me the happiest girl in the whole world. I can't wait to spend every day like this. With you. Forever and ever. O-R-E-V-E.
No.
What's happening?
I won't let you hurt him.
Who? It hurts.
I'm sorry. I was wrong. There's no happiness here after all. Goodbye, Sayori. Goodbye, Yumeko. Goodbye, Literature Club.
Can you hear me? Hi, it's me. So you know how I've been like practicing piano and stuff, and not really any good at it yet, like at all. But I wrote you a song, and I was kind of hoping that I could show it to you, because I worked really, really hard on it. So yeah. imagine a future where I can be with you. In my hand is a pen that will write a poem of me and you. The ink flows down into a dark puddle. Just move your hand right the way into his heart. But in this world of infinite choices, what will it take just to find that special day? What will it take just to find that special day?
And that, ladies and gentlemen, was Doki Doki Literature Club.
Have I found everybody a fun assignment to
What
do
a
today?
fun series this has been to make. The nostalgic trip that I got to go on,
Everything that we
obviously
do is
with you
fun
guys,
for them
and I'm so
anyway.
very thankful for, even though I know that this series didn't exactly get the most attention that I at least hoped it would, even if you clicked on it out of curiosity and watched a couple seconds, well, I doubt anybody's going to be watching this long, because this is probably about a 2-hour episode. But I still want to just thank you guys in general for sticking with me, not only with the channel, but with this series as well. It has been a real blast getting to play this game again, and I'm happy that I got to play it with you guys. So yeah, I think eventually I will go through the other girls' paths, just for the sake of going through them, and also to unlock the next couple of side stories.
If I take your is it
But
love if I set you free?
that's gonna be it for this time. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, I highly recommend you hit the subscribe button and turn on post notifications so you can be notified when I put out a new video. And if you liked this video or any other videos or series on my channel, then I highly suggest that you take a gander, and once again that you subscribe. I kind of got the outro a little bit mixed up there, but hey.
What do you call love in your
Extra special
reality?
thanks to Monica
And in
and
your
Yumeko.
reality, if I don't know how to love you, I'll leave you be.
Made with love by Team Salvato. This is my final goodbye to Literature Club. I finally understand. The Literature Club is truly a place where no happiness can be found. To the very end, it continued to expose innocent minds to a horrific reality, a reality that our world is not designed to comprehend. I can't let any of my friends undergo that same hellish epiphany. For the time it lasted, I want to thank you, for making all of my dreams come true, for being a friend to all the club members, and most of all, thank you for being a part of my Literature Club. With everlasting love, Monica.